Lots of people don't know this. The way a blade is ground might be one of the most important things to understand before choosing a knife, because a blade grind will determine what tasks that knife is best suited for. So you might be using the wrong knife for your use case scenario if you don't choose the right blade grind. Right here I have three of the most common blade grinds, starting over here with a full flat, then a saber grind, and a Scandi grind. So let me show you what each one of these is best suited for and which one I recommend as kind of the best all-arounder in my opinion. Starting with the full flat, you can see it's flat on both sides of the blade. There's no bevel anywhere on the side until you get right here to the cutting edge. And this is great because it creates very little drag when cutting through something and very little wedging. It's very, very versatile, easy to sharpen. Now, the cons would be that sometimes it can have a little bit less of a strong tip and a little bit weaker edge as far as if you're going to be chopping or batoning wood. This is not really the grind that you'd want to pick for that. Here we have the saber grind, and you'll see it's got this line running down the middle of the blade. That's the bevel. So from the spine to this point, it's still fairly thick, and then it thins out from there down to the cutting edge. And this is a great heavy-duty grind. You'll see a lot of military or survival style knives in this type of grind. It's good for chopping, batoning wood. Still decent at slicing, but not as slicey because it thickens out right there and will create more drag and more wedging, which can be good if you're trying to split wood or something, but sometimes it's not good if you're trying to food prep or cut something where you don't want that drag. And this is the Scandi grind. So you'll see the bevel starts very low on the blade away from the spine, and you have this large flat bevel on both sides. And this is your bushcrafting woodworking knife. So if you're doing a lot of carving, notching, you're working with wood, this is your guy. Now, it's a very strong grind, very hardy, but it is not good at slicing because of how thick it gets so quick on the blade. So a lot of wedging and drag will happen if you need something that's slicey. This is definitely the go-to though for woodworking and bushcraft kind of stuff. My personal favorite and the one I would recommend for most people is the full flat grind. Very slicey. You can do your camp tasks, meal prep, dress an animal, hunting, EDC cutting tasks. You can still feather stick and carve, even though that's not the main purpose of this grind. This is what I would recommend for most people. But remember, knives are tools, and there's different tools for different jobs. Thank y'all for watching Texas Gear Guy.